We have Chevelle's Niratias.
Niratias.
Let's go.
Let's
by
go.
Chevelle. 13 songs, 50 minutes long.
Yeah, 50
51.
minutes.
Yeah. Chevelle, like a heavier rock. I wouldn't say like heavy metal.
Hard rock.
But yeah, hard rock group. They've been around since the late 90s, I want to say. Yeah, they had a little project in like the late 90s. And they've been consistently kind of like pumping things out ever since. I like them in the sense that they don't, like a lot of heavy rock, and especially heavy metal, hard rock and heavy metal, they can kind of be very insular. Whereas everything we do on Audioface is like, how are you blending genres? How do we know these genres exist, how you take them forward? And there are a select couple of harder rock groups that do try to, like, especially as they age, blend in alternative and other different things like that. And that's what we like. And that's what they did. So yeah, what did you think about it? Especially the first song, one of my favorite words in the German language.
Verrückt. Which means crazy, insane. Oh, I do like that word. It's a
good word.
Verrückt and Wahnsinn are two of my favorite ones as well.
Yeah.
But anyways, Verrückt is a good opening track. It's basically an instrumental track going into like a solid hard rock song. It reminds me of like Disturbed in the mid-2000s or so. After that, you got Salon Mother Earth, which then gets into like a solid hard rock song. I thought it was actually a decent track.
Yeah.
It's hard for me to get into this because I used to listen to it a lot when I was younger, so I'm like far removed from a lot of the metal scenes or hard rock stuff that I used to listen to a bit. So sometimes it throws me back. I'm like, whoa.
Love imagining like 7-year-old metalhead Sean.
Yeah, exactly. Like eight-year-old whitey Sean right there blasting Disturbed or some shit. So.
Running around with a baseball bat after recess. Lovely thought. After So Long Mother Up comes Mars Simula, which is one of my favorite songs on the album, I think.
Well, because it's like instrumental for a long time, like for a little bit of it, and then it gets into lyrics, and I like,
It's just got good twangs of guitar and ways in motion, the ways it all goes. Just like the way it sounds. And like conceptually, I'm not sure like what they're doing. I'm sure they're doing like the whole like we're slightly in space thing that every artist is doing now. But
because then after Mars Simula, you have Sleep the Deep, which is a really weird in between track. That's like, this creeps me out, honestly.
It's like chimes almost.
It's little chimes going on it, plucking strings, and it just it's a little interesting theme for that, because then after that you got Self-Destruct and it just like gets in your face. I'm like, holy shit, okay, wake up.
And that's like there you get like a lot of the singing, you get the voice in there. It's not quite like yelly, throaty all the time, but like
the vocals are very good for hard rock, because normally usually vocals are something I think that's an afterthought a lot on hard rock, where it's usually raspy or yelly a little bit much. With this, it's very good. Everything's clear and crisp in that regard. Lyrics are very easily hearable, tangible to understand and stuff. So getting more into like the middle of it, you have Wormhole, 2 V's, kind of like that to make a W.
We love it, folks.
Which then, like, after Pistol Star is like a little bit of a breaker track before then into Peach. I like their breaker tracks for it, because the thing with a lot of albums that we reviewed in the past where it's metal or hard rock, it just literally there's no breaks. It's just full gas. So I like that. Well, there's a little bit different themes and different ideas of it to go between certain tracks and different chunks of the album, because it'll be like 2-3 songs. And then there'll be a little bit of breaker, a little bit in between 2-3 songs, and then another thing like that, which then I like. After that, after Peach, you get Test Enough, which I like as a track too. It's a little bit shorter for it, and it's a little bit stripped back. But again, with Chevelle, you're doing something a little bit different within it. You're playing around with vocals, you're playing around with effects and other stuff along within, staying within the refines of hard rock, which is hard to do because hard rock is very limited in what you could do with it, because it's a sound that's been done for 3-4 decades, really, since the late 70s, early 80s. It's
about as old as rock itself.
Yeah, really. So it's a good album overall. I did enjoy it.
Yeah. Around Near Endlessly, I think, was a really nice sort of climax almost. Near the end of the album, things are a lot less heavy rock. It's just like lighter. You get almost like light percussive touches here and there.
Because there's Endlessly, you get that for sure.
Yeah. But I think, again, you get a little bit more range and difference in these albums, which is good. Endlessly gets like some layered singing in there. I'm not sure if it's like my favorite thing for their stylistically, but I like it in the form of the album. Like you said, it breaks things up.
It does. And then within it, I do like the ending of the album a lot. The last couple tracks, starting with Endlessly, and then you have Remember When, Ghost and Razor, and Lost in Digital Woods, because those are, you have like true and true hard rock songs. You have some slower stuff in there. You have a little bit of experimentation, and the last track is like a little spoken piece or whatnot that like goes in. You have a little long little breaker. Then you have just a guitar at the end by itself, which is pretty cool to have as a ending album part.
Yeah, some light, deeper piano tones to it. Really just tied together. I think, the last song's like 4 minutes long, so maybe it's not like a breaker thing. But the ambient pieces, I think, sing just as well as the regular songs themselves. Because they just like do such a good job of putting you in an environment that it's hard to kind of escape from. It's really good of a job doing that.
It's a good album.
Overall, it's very solid. Yeah, for someone who doesn't go into hard rock all the time, this is really solid. And I think you would get a lot of people into it, and then get into even heavier things too. I know there are a lot of fans, especially a couple who listen to Audioface, who are super into that. And so,
because you have fans like Ghost and other ones that are pretty popular and whatnot throughout.
Yeah, absolutely. So, arbitrary scale, minimum wage in any given year in the United States. Great country. We treat our workers very well. I'm going to give this, we're talking about the 80s. We're talking about rock. How about 335?
Damn, I was going to say 335. That was that last bump right before, Reaganomics kicks in. You're just like, fend for yourselves, buddy. Grab a shotgun, bucko. Wide up.
It's time to get the government out of your lives and buy a Smith & Wesson.